So anyway, a nerd with no heart that comes up with a cute little gadget is comparable to these followers of Seth that teamed up on these other people. Now, in the Hunter palette, it's not entirely clear who they're teaming up on. But in the Narmer palette, it's clear that these guys are being made to pay for their sexual immorality to the females related to the bull deity, right? Certainly there was male bulls and there's female bulls, and these guys probably try to get their weight up, which is a saying we have today. You know, get your weight up, right? He's sick, he's ill, right? It all has to do with the ghetto culture, which favors Biggie Smalls, kind of big pun, kind of big strong guys, which goes back to the prison culture. Okay, so these guys thought the same way because they were stupid. They didn't think in terms of brain function, or they knew just enough to know that from male to female, from their male and the captive female, they couldn't really improve their male brain function, right? Their masculine brain, their martial arts coordination brain, right? Okay, and that has to do with neuroplasticity and epigenetics, right? Generational evolution, if you will, and the neuroplasticity, which is the wiring of the brain with motor scales, including speech and martial arts movement and disdain for immorality. And over time, your brain is wired to not be able to stand immorality, and it's generational. Now, obviously, they can't change this in reality because they're in the wrong. All the people in the wrong and all the people that roll with them who aren't worthy to connect to God cannot then turn around and say and say we're just going to fix our brains and we'll connect to God. They're sealed in. Okay, the nerd is a key example of the no heart misleader, misguider, right? Type of cowards. Educated evil cowards. And it also goes back to bat, the cow, coward, right? C-O, see the true son, and ward up. Goes back to the H's of fence. They have me fenced in, surrounded by people who bought up these houses so they could keep an eye on me and help the government keep me down and call the police on me and do whatever bitch shit they're doing, fume me and whatever, right? Help them fume me and so on and so forth. So, and of course, society rejects me, right? This is also why they're sealed in. There's nowhere I can go because people have accepted the mark of the beast, marketing, trademark, lifestyles, right? The cram. They cram a bunch of culture bitch ideas in their minds and they're not receptive to me. I can't go up and say, hey, my name is Chukwemeka. I am the king of the Igbos, thus the king of kings, and I need you to help me out. I need you to give me a place to stay. I need you to obey God through me. I'll explain it to you. They won't even listen to me that much. People are so unreasonable. They're despicable. And almost certainly there'd be some cult bitch. Now, cult has to do with cultivation, repetition, right? Growing something over generations. They're cultivating fruit, right? And they're doing it one harvest after another, after another, after another, after another. Goes back to the Bible, the Grim Reaper, the harvest, right? The tares and the wheat and whatever they use. Anyway, so principle. Right? There is without morals, you have inferior principles. Who wants to live in that world? Right? I use the example of if you were chopping up children and eating them just to survive, and you're surrounded by a bunch of functionalist bitches with aprons, and they're like, "We gotta survive." Okay? Can you then turn around and give a kid a piece of candy from the bottom of your heart? Here, kid, isn't he so cute? No. You can't be evil and good at the same time. You can't cultivate evil to survive and then have love in your heart. If you can't follow that train of thought to its finish, a lesser form that, well, I'm just working for IBM. I'm just in the military. I'm just in the cops. I'm just, a gang member. I'm just a politician. I'm just a lawyer or whatever. Okay? You can't cultivate that evil and then turn around and have love in your heart. And of course, they do things to kind of put words in my mouth to alienate me from any potential allies. But there really are no potential allies because people have been bred to be evil. Be red, bred, reproduction, raw prediction. Anyway, so obviously surviving and sleeping with the enemies on the land that your ancestors try to defend is pure fucking evil, right? It's like, I am a dumb bitch! And then after they rape and kill a bunch of people, they're like, she wants to marry me. And they're like, you can't marry a dumb bitch. Why not? Okay, and this is where we get most of these mixed races we have today. Now, Baal is also a bull deity, a bull and the sheep, okay? And the Narmer palette shows that Narmer had some kind of relationship with the followers of Bat. It just does not mean that he had a big, hefty wife. That's untrue. The priestess of Neith, the archer groups, right? The very slim, sexy kind of females relative to the people at the time, at least. this was his main wife, and then obviously he had a bunch of other attractive wives as well, you know. So it's stupid not to see it that way, right? The worshippers of Baal are the Canaanite kind of Semitic types. It's not the followers of Horus. Okay. Set replaces Abal and teams up with their kind of group the most. This is why you have two main types of demon kind of people, right? The big strong guys and the short kind of jackal faced gnome looking elf looking type of guys. Obviously, knowledge is for bitches. And the reason why I have to explain it with this overkill point is because of mental health being on my bumper. Everyone acting like a bitch that needs their hand held through common sense, much less morality. And, you know, it's obvious that I'm right? Why is it a snake in the tree of knowledge, right? The devil's so-called deep secrets. Because it's a sexual connotation, right? They're naked in the garden and so on, the forbidden fruit, right? You go on and on about how, why they use this term, right? Basically, you know, it's a big role-playing rape cult group, okay? This also goes back to Mars. It goes back to Venus and the Roman generals giving an ovation, a lesser form of Roman triumph, that when they were wearing a myrtle crown. And what the myrtle symbolizes is basically saying they're being purified by the vaginas of the females that they have, coerced into sex. Because, nobody is said to be so stupid that they would willingly sleep with the enemy. So therefore, if the females lay with them, then they must be approving. And they're also combining, right? The two become one flesh, and they return to the dust because they didn't have the heart to obey God through his son that taught martial arts, who is obviously the only one who is capable of connecting to God. As soon as this idea comes across you, boom. As soon as he comes across you, boom. There's no excuse for that kind of cowardice, that kind of stupidity. It's like seeing a lion roaring in your baby's face and you don't think it's a threat. You're a fucking dumbass if you put that child or anything else over God, over obeying God through the top martial arts.